Buying a home can be an amazing and fun experience, or it can be kind of frustrating and stressful. There are definitely smarter ways to do it and other ways that aren't so smart. Stay tuned for our top 5 smartest tips for buying a home. Hi, I'm Mike Regan. Before I get into real estate, I was a process improvement consultant and the author of 2 books on the subject. Then, as a top producing real estate agent, I was blessed to be able to personally sell over 750 homes in my 15-year career. Now, as the founder and CEO of Relevate Real Estate, I spend my time developing improvements for the residential real estate process and coaching our agents to implement those innovative methods for our buyer and seller clients. In this video, I'll share 5 smart tips about your financing, whether or not you should use an agent, when you should start your search, what criteria you shouldn't leave out of your search parameters, and finally, why you should take a walk before you make an offer. Tip number 1 is to get your financing figured out. Before you know what homes to consider, you need to know how much you can afford, and that comes down to monthly payment amount. Between loan products and new lending rules, variable interest rates and credit score surprises, most buyers are looking in the wrong price range, too high or too low. Ask your real estate broker for a referral to a mortgage lending specialist with at least 5 years experience. Based on your preferred monthly payment, income, and credit scores, they will review all your loan and down payment options and write you what's called a pre-qualification letter stating what purchase price you can afford. The seller's agent will need this letter before they can consider your offer. A pre-approval letter, as opposed to a pre-qualification letter, requires much more labor on your part to provide additional paperwork and verification, but since listing agents don't care about this at all, it will not help you at all when making an offer on a home, so you can skip that. The listing agent will either trust the reputation of your agent who is making the offer on your behalf, or if they have any real concern, they'll ask permission to talk to your lender, which you should definitely grant. You will get the best advice and rates from a mortgage broker who specializes in residential loans and who has access to a large variety of loan products. Loan officers who work for one of the big banks, such as Wells Fargo or Bank of America, tend to focus exclusively on their own products. Retail bank locations are busy with a wide variety of services such as checking, savings, business, and auto loans, and normally offer limited lending options, so they're rarely competitive. One exception is the State Employees Credit Union. If you're a member, you should definitely talk to them about your purchase. I definitely encourage you to shop for the best rate for your family, but think twice about switching away from a lender who invested their time to give you advice and help just to save 1/8 of a point. Anyone can quote you a lower rate, but that lender may drop the ball later and cost you money or delay your closing. My advice is to not use internet lenders, out-of-state lenders, or any lender who was not referred to you, unless you like surprise rate hikes the day before your closing when it is too late to react. A great mortgage broker can sometimes even lower your rate after you lock it in by moving you to a different lender if the rates go down before closing. The best brokers will call and offer it without you even having to ask. You'll only find that broker by referral. Finally, when your mortgage broker asks for additional paperwork, get it to them immediately. They can't control what the underwriter will ask for or when, and if you're late delivering your paperwork, your closing might be late also, and late closings are the worst. My second tip is use a real estate agent. Yeah, okay, I'm a real estate agent and I hang out with a lot of real estate agents, but here's why I'm suggesting to use a real estate agent when you buy. As a buyer, the commission for your agent is paid by the firm that lists the home you end up buying, so you don't pay any commissions when you use an agent to help you. In addition, a good real estate agent will help you find the right home in the right area. They'll guide you away from some big mistakes and negotiate a better deal for you. Some buyers think they'll save money by not having an agent. Think again. The seller has agreed already to pay a certain commission rate to the listing agent, regardless of whether the buyer is represented or not. If you don't have an agent, the listing agent will keep the entire amount and you'll miss out on the benefit of professional advice. Beware of agents who offer you part of their commission as a buyer rebate. This may be a sign they're struggling to survive as a real estate agent or doubt their own value, and as a result, will not be competent to represent you. In addition, if they're looking to give away part of their commission, how good are they going to be at negotiating on your behalf? Tip number 3 is start early. Most buyers purchase a home that doesn't fully match their original criteria. because their criteria evolves and changes as they look at homes and think. If you start looking too late, you might buy the wrong home because you haven't had that time to think. It makes sense to start looking and exploring long before you're ready to buy to give yourself time to learn and think about what you see. A great real estate agent will be patient and will prioritize your needs and timeline above any other interests. Meet with that great real estate agent and tell them your criteria, and then look at a map and ask them what areas are appreciating and what areas to avoid for any reason. Your broker will start sending you properties by email. Sort through them and pick the ones you like the most, and when you have time, drive by these homes and see what you think about the neighborhood and the shopping and the commute to work. By doing this and taking your time, you'll find neighborhoods you never even knew existed, and it's fun. You have to decide what geographic area you want to live in before you decide which specific home you want to purchase, because the right house in the wrong area is the wrong house, right? At this stage, you're trying to figure out the right area. Definitely continue to look for homes on Realtor.com and Zillow, as well as the search page on your broker's website. You'll end up finding homes that you like that don't actually meet your original criteria. No problem, that's the whole point. Tell your agent about these and change your criteria if you want to, and they'll send you more homes to consider. If you happen to see a home in the middle of all this starting early that you absolutely love, call your agent and tell them you want to see it as soon as possible. There's no harm in looking, and if it really is the perfect home, maybe it makes sense to move a little earlier than you planned. Tip number 4 is to know your criteria. It's common to forget a criteria that ends up being really important to you later. Better to think about it early on and have it on your list. Here is a solid list of criteria for you to consider. You can pause the video now and write it down or take a screenshot, or you can click on the link in the written version of this video in the description below. Tell your real estate agent everything you want in your next home. If your search results in too many homes to choose from, you can always add your criteria to narrow it down. If not enough homes match your criteria, you can make your criteria less specific. Finally, tip number 5, walk the neighborhood before making an offer. Before committing to purchasing a home, take a few slow walks through the neighborhood at different times of day. Listen for barking dogs, look for children playing if that's important to you, because the law prohibits your agent from discussing anything related to familial status, even whether they're kids in a neighborhood. Introduce yourself to a few neighbors, tell them which home you're thinking about, and ask what they know. Neighbors love to talk, and you might be glad you listened. So there you have it, our top 5 tips for buying a home that will help you have a great experience instead of being stressed out and sad. And while I was talking, I actually thought of 5 more top tips for buying a home that I think could be really helpful to you as well. Click here to watch that video. You may have other questions as well. For example, how should I manage the timing of selling and buying at the same time? Or what is the best way to make an offer on a home that's obviously overpriced? Jump to our Learning Center for articles about these and many other topics. If you felt this video was helpful, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to our channel to be notified whenever we publish more content like this. Also, please write your thoughts or questions in the comment section below, and I'll reply as soon as possible. Listen, Relevate Real Estate isn't right for everyone, but if you're thinking about selling or buying, or you know someone else who is, we're never too busy for you or your referrals to your family, friends, neighbors, and coworkers. If you already know a Relevate agent, just give them a call and they'll be happy to help. If you don't already have a relationship with one of our agents, or if you live in an area where Relevate isn't yet, just send an email to me at mike@relevate.life, and I'll be glad to introduce you to one of our best agents or a great agent from our network in your area of the country.